Thank you for coming to City Hall on short notice. I want to thank all the community leadership that is standing behind me, from our city manager to the city staff to leaders of the business community, leaders of the labor community, and I want to specifically thank my city council colleagues for being here in unison. You all know them, but they deserve a shout out. Councilmember Eric Guetta, Vice Mayor Jeff Harris, the Mayor Pro Tem Angelique Ashby, Councilmember Alan Warren, Councilmember Jay Chenier, and Councilmember, the tall guy, Councilmember Steve Hansen. I also want to thank our school districts who have been working around the clock on the coronavirus. I want to thank all of the other local elected officials, specifically the County of Sacramento and the board chair Phil Cerna, who has also been working tirelessly. I want to thank the state of California, Governor Newsom. We have been in daily contact, and I want to thank our state legislative delegation led by Senators Pan and Assemblymember McCarty. I want to thank our federal partners, specifically Congresswoman Doris Matsui and Congressman Ami Bera. All have been actively engaged as we grapple with an unprecedented situation, not just in Sacramento, but in California and, of course, in our country, in our world. The public health comes first, and we must take the appropriate public health measures to stabilize and protect our vulnerable populations that are most at risk. We will fully implement the governor's executive order of last evening, and in fact, we may, in a smart, balanced, and rational way, go further. Because the logic of the executive order is pretty clear, that if we can limit large gatherings and mass gatherings, that there is a greater likelihood that the virus will not spread as fast. And if that helps save lives, if that helps reduce the numbers of people that are infected, then it is worth certainly stopping business as usual, especially when it comes to so-called non-essential events, recognizing that we will once again reclaim our normal lives and get back to the way it was. We must encourage seniors, of course, and other vulnerable health populations to please remain home. Similarly, if you're sick, it's so obvious. Stay home and follow the clear health guidelines like washing your hands, using the hand sanitizers, not shaking hands. The elbow bump has become the thing, and as somebody said to me a moment ago, we may never go back to the traditional handshake, and maybe that'll be an okay thing. I want to say to the people of Sacramento, this is a difficult and a stressful time, and I think we should all acknowledge that. But we must remain calm and not panic. We are a strong and we are a resilient city, and we will get through this together. Together is the key word. I promise you, we will get through this. The Sacramento City Council will be in closed session today at 5 p.m. and will hold a special council meeting tomorrow at 1 o'clock to vote on the following actions. We vote on the actions in public, but we are going to meet in closed session to discuss other items that are appropriate for closed session. The 1 p.m. council meeting tomorrow will be streamed live, but physically closed to the public to follow the state guidelines on gatherings of over 250 people. With that said, in support of the governor's executive order, the city will take the following actions. We will cancel permits for special events that will have more than 250 people, and we will refund permit fees. We will also, on a case-by-case basis, look at the permits we have issued for smaller events. And if those events involve vulnerable populations or seniors, we may do the same as we will for the larger events. At council tomorrow, I will ask my colleagues to pass an emergency declaration that will help businesses and residents process insurance claims quickly for some of the losses from the loss of restaurant or theater patronage may in fact be insurable. We will also pass an emergency declaration that will give the city manager and our attorney and our city the ability to prohibit evictions for economically impacted renters. Nobody should be evicted because they are short of cash, because they're affected in one way or another by the coronavirus. We will vote to establish a $1 million economic relief package for small local businesses like restaurants, retail, and daycare providers. This will come in the form we intend, and it could change, in the form of zero interest loans up to $25,000 based on demonstrated need. We will also develop a small business hotline for this purpose. We will pass tomorrow a measure similar to what we do during the holiday season to provide free metered parking from 4:30 p.m. onward for up to 30 days, with all other enforcement still being applied, again, similar to what we have done for so-called parking holidays. Fifth, if schools do close, and I know those decisions have not been made except for in one district, but it's pretty clear to me the direction much of this is heading. If schools do close, we will work with school districts to assure there are places to get children and families the food that they need. We will work with our libraries specifically as potential meal provider locations. As I said earlier, we will prohibit evictions for economically impacted renters. We also need to be extra concerned about our homeless population. And certainly our drive is to get people indoors, and we're moving as fast as we can, including having the tiny home village in North Sacramento up, I hope, within a couple of weeks. But in addition to that, we are going to authorize the city manager, as he's already authorized, but to make it more specific, to spend up to $250,000 to distribute emergency sanitation and cleaning supplies to our homeless population. We will help acquire and distribute emergency sanitation and cleaning supplies as well to impacted businesses, because apparently there's been such a run on some of these items that we may need to help out there. The Central Labor Council is stepping up, and thank you, Fabrizio. They have volunteered to help people navigate the unemployment process for impacted workers, and the city will work with the Labor Council to make that information available, as well as to help with the governor's direction to assist workers with paid family leave, disability insurance, unemployment insurance, paid sick leave, and workers' comp. The Central Labor Council hotline, which will be staffed, is 916-927-9772, and the state website is ca.gov, coronavirus.2019. Might want to update that to 2020, but that's all right.
We'll get there.
This is obviously, don't want to go to all the cliches, but this is an ever-changing situation. And so we are going to remain strong. We're going to remain confident as a city. We are going to be on the job at all hours. And we are going to adapt and change these policies and add to the list that I just communicated to you as the circumstances arise and as the need arises. I conclude again with where I basically started. Nobody is trying to put on, a false, cheery face about an unprecedented circumstance, because the public health issues are very, very real. But we've got great help, not only from our county health officers, but our state health officers as well. And if we stick together, if we stay calm, if we do the right thing, and we support each other, we will get through this with minimal amount of disruption, and hopefully a minimal amount of serious illness and or death. And as with everything that is a great challenge, we will be stronger together as Sacramentans. Thank you very much, everybody. I'll be happy to take some questions. Yes.
I see in your plan to deal with the food situation when it comes to school children.
Yes.
If schools do close, have you talked with the county school districts about educational equity in terms of if they're moving to online, not everybody may have access to devices at home or Wi-Fi at home.
So a couple of questions about the school district, how the school districts are going to be
Yeah.
dealing with the potential closure.
Your concern is, Mayor, you talked about
Okay.
providing for their food concerns, we understand.
Yeah, well, so first of all, there has been no decision to close schools, as you know. The state university system is moving to online. I think community college system will be making its announcements I got it, Darrell Steinberg. Will be making their announcements in I'm sure, due order. There has not been a decision yet to close the schools. Certainly, although Natomas has decided that it is going to have a 4-day weekend, and I think that's very, very appropriate, by the way, to take stock and to take time. I think this is a rapidly moving situation, and I think the next big issue that the governor will confront and that we all must confront is the school situation. And it is a more difficult balance than the non-essential functions like sports and entertainment and everything else that we enjoy doing in life for two reasons. Number one, one main reason, that if we close schools, there's significant disruption to children and families, and especially kids from socioeconomic backgrounds, low socioeconomic backgrounds. And we know that the vast majority of our kids in Sac City, for example, are on free reduced lunch. And so what is the impact on their working parents and their jobs? What is the impact on, obviously, the children? How do we get them the help that they need, including the food, if they are eligible for free and reduced lunch? But this is where, again, the spirit of community is so important, because regardless of what happens with the schools, if a school closes and the parents have challenges with their place of employment, we would call on the employers in those instances to please work with the affected employees and to make sure that those employees are not at risk of losing their job. If they can work from home, if they can take some of the extended family leave that Governor Newsom has called for in his executive order, this is where we will all be okay if every stakeholder in business and labor is represented here today, and our government and our civic leaders and all our separate institutions, if we pull together and make sure that nobody gets hurt unduly because of what we have to do in order to first protect the public safety.
So have there been discussions, though, about somebody stepping in to provide, I don't know, devices or internet service if models move to an online setting? And
Not yet, but those discussions will take place, because there hasn't been decisions yet to close the K-12 schools except for the Elk Grove district, as you know. Yes, Graham?
So you mentioned about allocating $250,000
Yeah.
for sanitation supplies for the homeless. I mean, I wanted to ask if you could be a bit more specific. Is the city considering adding like hand washing stations or anything of the like?
All the above, Graham, all the above. We recognize that, I mean, our drive is to bring the homeless population indoors, as you know. And we've got, 700 new and repurposed beds that will be up by the summer. Well, this is not yet the spring, and Lord knows we all want the machinery to move a lot faster, but in the meantime, what do? We try to minimize the spread of infection among that very vulnerable population, and so to be more proactive about getting all the right sanitation supplies and needs met for that population. We're going to work with and again, we're not doing any of this alone. We just said we'll put up $250,000. We'll work with the county, we'll work with our nonprofits and our other partners, and we'll put all of it to good use. Okay?
I'm Susanna from Telemundo Russia
Yeah,
right
Susanna.
now. I don't know if someone can answer this in Spanish or
Eric Guerra is our...
But the question is, I mean, we're talking about schools and whatnot, but I mean, I don't know if there's any kind of plan to also, whether it's regulate or have a plan for churches and, for example, like, malls and stuff like this. Is there any type of situation where there are
To do what with malls?
Like, I don't know if you guys are gonna, like, kind of work with them in terms of, because I mean, there could be, I don't know, people could be exposed there because there's so many
Yeah,
people there.
those are gathering places. That's the 250 more. We will talk to them. Yes.
Tenemos ahorita la redad que está trabajando con todas las comunidades inmigrantes. Vamos a usar la organización ahorita que está trabajando con las 39 organizaciones no lucrativas que dan apoyo ahorita legal para poner información. Esa red de organizaciones está en comunicación con las iglesias, con las organizaciones como la Familia Counseling Center y con otras organizaciones que dan apoyo. Lo que es importante hoy, por eso también tenemos aquí la Cámara de Comercio Hispana de Sacramento, es que vamos a tener fondos también para los negocios que están afectados por esta situación. Vamos a poner $250,000 listo para ayudarle a esas personas que necesitan asistencia, que están viviendo también en la calle, que son indigentes, y también vamos a poner un presupuesto de $1 millón para ayudar a los negocios. $25,000 vamos a poner listos en efectivo para los negocios que están afectados por esta crisis que tenemos al momento.
Okay, thank you. Two things I want to, I mentioned Congresswoman Matsui. Her office is going to help provide guidance on small business loan assistance, and so that may complement, and we'll work to ensure that it complements the $1 million that we are willing to put out for small business loans. The other thing I wanted to say with so many of our business leaders here, in terms of the restaurants, please go to the restaurants if you can, and if you can't, there's always DoorDash and takeout. I mean, so really order from our restaurants or patronize our local businesses. Do it in the right way and in the safe way. But please continue to participate in a safe way in the civic life. Okay, other questions? Yes?
How will the city support businesses in DOCO who are being affected by events at the Golden Ones that are being canceled?
Well, this is exactly what we said. We're gonna vote tomorrow to put forward $1 million in small business loan assistance. We will work with the state. We will work with Congresswoman Matsui to see if we can pool those resources with state and federal resources, and then have the ability to set up a quick process by which if a small business in and around the downtown or even outside the downtown is having a difficult time making it because of the coronavirus, that we can step in and just help prop them up.
Could I add one
Which
thing, Mayor?
businesses is the city going to prioritize?
Dine down, the restaurant, and then the staycations.
Okay, this is
Visit Sacramento, DSM.
Visit Sacramento. This is Dine. This is what do you call it? Dine Downtown. This is Dine Downtown Month.
No, we're gonna make it.
We're gonna make it Dine Downtown Month. Yes, we are.
Staycation specials and everything.
Yeah, the restaurants are gonna put out their own right PR in this, but they're gonna try to advertise, you know, some of the specials, whether it's $30 for two for dinner, or you know, other ways to incentivize. We're going to do the parking. We're also going to try to help the restaurants. The downtown's very, very important. And with the Kings and the Golden One Center closing and some of the theater closing downtown, we want to pay some special focus
But
there.
I know there are still concerts going on at the Golden One Center.
I don't think so. I think those concerts probably will be canceled. Those are large gatherings.
Yeah.
No,
That
that's-
decision hasn't been made yet, but we are in contact
They are,
with the Kings.
look at, we are going to strongly encourage, if not insist, that large gatherings be
At Cal Expo.
be postponed,
and Vote in our
wherever,
favor.
absolutely. That's what we're doing here,
How's
for the
city
public
gonna
safety.
Decide who's eligible and who it's going to.
We're gonna work that-
And what's the timeline for those?
We're gonna work this out over the next 48 hours in terms of eligibility. And, you know, we already do have our portal, which is our Measure U portal, which is ready-made and could potentially be used as the place to take applications and review.
Demonstrated need.
Demonstrated need, obviously. One more.
Does the city have sufficient resources to ensure that all the different groups that are affected by this virus can receive some kind of assistance?
Well, I don't know whether we can do everything, but we are because of Measure U, again, we do have some significant additional resources. And what's that? And the fuel network. We've got lots of ways to get out the word, and we've got lots of ways we can partner with the state government, the federal government, the private sector to try to help as many people as possible. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Thank you,
Spanish
everybody.
Really quick, just kind of can reiterate.
Maybe
Why
you
don't
can
we
just
do it
speak-
off camera? Can we do that off camera? Okay. Thank you all very much for coming. Appreciate it. Okay.
Good job, Mayor.
Good. Thank you.
Is this your
¿Quieren que, ¿Quieren que lo haga los dos al mismo tiempo? Ok, está bien.
You just get my
¿Lo
microphone.
quieren? Okay, yeah.
We have the best women's basketball team in the history of the world, and
We'll do these.
crushed.
I know.
But it's good to see you.
Nice to see you too, buddy.
I wish we were under better circumstances.
And then do we have any of our other? Let's see.
Please, yes, good job, guys.
I was looking for one of our labor.
This guy, but their malt box wasn't working. I just asked if they want me to stand for Spanish, just in case since we're streaming Facebook Live. Yeah.
We're gonna do another one just for Spanish to reiterate the steps. So maybe we'll record this on a different link. We can record it again.
I would have done that, but they told me to ask you during, so that's fine.
That's fine. No, that's good. It's actually better during
Yeah?
because it's better optics.
Yeah.
Oh, Fabrice's up there. Are you meeting?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see if we can get. Yeah. Or do you want me to over here? It might be.
I mean, you can be in the middle, it's fine.
It just
right
makes it
there.
easier so I can look at the notes.
I mean, what do
Be
you,
here to support him.
I just want to get everybody's way.
Record as well. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna do it here so that I can look at the
Okay,
paper.
well then let me put this in.
Yeah, sorry about that. That way I don't have the. That way I don't miss any of the.